Hello everyone. So this is a request. This is 5 real Fortnite. Yeah, I don't think this. Okay. 5 real Fortnite horror stories. Sorry, there's a sounds like a blower going. Anyways, I'm gonna break this video down into 13, 14 minutes. 14, 28, 42. So 14 minutes, and then or whatever best works. So starts video right now in 614,000. I already forgot the number.
I wish I would have never played Fortnite. By I Am Nomad 3050. About a year ago, I discovered a game called Fortnite. Yeah,
I've never played.
Millions of other poor souls. At first, I didn't get it. I found the game extremely boring. Jump out of a plane, look for weapons and materials, and try to stay alive until the end. Even though I wasn't having a lot of fun, I stuck with it because others loved it, so I should love it too, right? After a few days of playing the game, it just clicked, and boom, I was addicted. Each day I spent more and more time playing. When I wasn't playing, I was on Reddit reading about Fortnite or on Twitch and YouTube watching others play Fortnite. The game took over my life and my bank account. Well, I say bank account, but that didn't last long as those funds ran out rather quickly. Then it was the credit cards that funded my addiction. You might be thinking, the game is free to play. What are you talking about? To play the game it's free, but you still want the swag. Skins, back blings, pickaxes, emotes, and battle passes will sink their teeth into you, and you will spend more money than you would ever have dreamed. I was buying everything. I was spending thousands of dollars I didn't have on these digital items. They made me feel cool, and I didn't feel cool in my real life, so this was a welcome change. I was guild master of a Fortnite guild with over 100 members. I was treated with respect, which is something I don't really have in real life. I eventually dropped out of college and quit my part-time job to give myself 100% to Fortnite. The real world ceased to exist, in my mind at least. A gamer named Dr. Gruesome 666 became a member of my guild, the Masons. We started to play duos together on a daily basis. DG, as I call him for short, was an odd fellow, but an elite player, so I looked past the odd stuff. There were times when he wouldn't chat or would just breathe heavily. When he did talk, he sounded like he was using one of those filters to disguise his voice. Like I said, he was odd, but he was an amazing player, so that didn't really matter to me. One night, about 2 weeks later, he joined and he said he was going to leave the guild. I was shocked and didn't want this to happen. He helped us win a lot of matches and even some tournaments. I asked him what game he was migrating to. He asked me if I was familiar with the deep web. I told him I was as far as knowing what it was, but I'd never accessed it. He told me that there was a hacked Fortnite client that was being played on the deep web. It was called Last Right. I immediately was thinking bullcrap, but DG never joked about anything. He told me that the core gameplay was the same, but the game was much darker and much more macabre. The map was laid out the same, but sections were named differently and were more sinister aesthetically. I was rather shocked by some of the names. Instead of Risky Reels, it was called Rapist Thrills. Dusty Divot was named Bloody Wound. Pleasant Park was renamed Agony Avenue, and Greasy Grove was renamed Disembowel Drive. I won't list the other places, but you get the idea. The water in the game was of course blood, according to DG. He said that the skins were very disturbing. He said he found one that went perfectly with his name, Dr. Gruesome 666. He said the skin was called Abortionist.
What a name.
He said he looked like a zombie with a ripped bloody smock on it. The pickaxe was a huge rusty bloody scalpel with chunks of gore dripping off of it, and his back bling was an aborted fetus. The glider that went with the set was a trio of babies stitched up like the Human Centipede movie, with baby crying sound effects. He said his favorite emote was his skin masturbating until climax completion with ejaculation. I couldn't believe it and finally called bullshit. He got really angry and told me to go to hell and stick with Fortnite. He said all the elites are heading to Last Right and thought I would be interested, or he wouldn't have even brought it up. I, of course, didn't want to be left out of anything even remotely having anything to do with Fortnite, so I took the bait. DG said he would IM me the directions on how to download the Tor browser and set up all the security I would need. After I got that set up, he would send me the link to download Last Right. I had always had a curiosity about the deep web, but I was too apprehensive to actually check it out for myself. I have listened to a dozen of the supposedly true deep web stories on YouTube, and they made me think twice even though I was pretty sure they were all bullshit. I got everything up and running, and away I went into the deep web. DG sent me a link which was just a bunch of numbers, containing nothing like I've seen before. I came to a black screen with a blinking cursor at the center. I figured I had keyed the address in wrong. As I was about to leave the page, I saw hello appear where the cursor was. And a text box appeared below, and all I thought to type was, "Hi, back. State your intention." Okay. I typed, "I'm sorry, I must be at the wrong site. I was looking for a game called Last Right that my friend told me about." The next message simply said, "Who sent you?" This was starting to get weirder by the second. Why the heck does it matter who sent me? I just responded, "A friend." He responded with one word, "Name." I didn't really think anything of it, so I just typed in Dr. Gruesome 666. I waited for about 20 seconds thinking that this was not where I was supposed to be.
Prepare for entry. Welcome to Last Right.
Now there was a small meat cleaver that was spinning.
Stupid question. Is this game that's on screen, is this Fortnite? I thought Fortnite was you got a pickaxe or whatever and you're digging. Or am I mixing up games? I have to be mixing up games. But this is more of not a Fortnite horror story. This is more of a deep web.
And slinging blood all over the screen. My assumption was that the next page was loading. After about a minute, the screen stayed black, but the word Last Right was in red and appeared in front of what looked like a throbbing blood vessel. I put my mouse over the title and clicked. I noticed the download began immediately for an exe file. It was pretty disconcerting that something was actually automatically downloading. I was inclined to just unplug, but curiosity is a bitch. The download size was 666 megabytes. I must admit, seeing that number gave me the creeps. This whole situation was starting to freak me out a bit.
Jeez.
After about 5 minutes, the download had finished and it was automatically installing. Isn't this freaking thing supposed to ask me if I want to install? Of course, my whole screen goes black and I just see the word installing in a white bone looking font. After the installation finished, I got a message in this client from DG. It said,
"Hey Mike, glad you made it. I hope you didn't have any difficulties."
How the hell is DG messaging me? I haven't even registered or selected a name yet. Jesus, how the hell does he even know my real name? Then another message came in. It said,
"Mike, I am the owner and architect of Last Right, and I want to thank you for being such a good friend to me. I am going to design a skin just for you. Do you want male or female?"
I'm starting to shit bricks at this point. However, I go along and just say male.
"You got it, Mike."
A video feed immediately pops up. The video quality isn't very crisp and clear, probably 1080p. A curtain pulls back and there's a nude man chained up by his arms and legs. He appears to have one of those ball gags in his mouth and he is breathing heavily and sweating like a pig. His eyes are wide open and he is terrified out of his mind. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. What the hell is going on? Where the hell am I? What the hell am I watching? Then a metal door opens slowly behind
About to watch a new skin be made for you,
the
huh?
man. It is a man in a white bloody smock that a doctor would wear. He waves at the camera and he walks in front of the man.
Hi, Mike Anderson. How's the weather in Wilmington?
I was taken aback. I yelled at the screen, "What the hell is going on? Who is this guy? How do you know all this stuff?" He responded,
Why, I am Dr. Gruesome, and I know everything about you, Mike. Old buddy, old pal. You are my buddy, right, Mike? Here's a special gift for you. It isn't every day that a player can design his own skin. This sweaty fellow back here is going to play an important role in making that happen. Aren't you, Jeff?
DG slaps the man on the cheek lightly a few times. As he's slapping the man, I notice a backpack bouncing on DG's back.
Mike, check out my back bling. I told you about it the other day.
He turned his back to the camera, and there appeared to be a bloody something there. Then I remembered what he'd mentioned in our chat earlier. It couldn't be. He backed up towards the camera to give me a closer look, and it appeared to be a fetus. Was it real? I hope to God not, but it looked pretty convincing. He was jumping up and down, laughing, trying to make the fetus move. I retched and vomited in the trash can beside my computer. DG then pulls out the biggest knife I had ever seen, and he appears to put the blade on a sharpener. The metallic screech made every hair on my body stand up. Sparks spray everywhere like one of those 4th of July sparklers I held in my hand as a child.
That should do it, nice and sharp. Creating a new skin for our player requires a sharp knife. If you're going to do something, do it right. That is what my father used to say.
DG walks over to the squirming man and proceeds to cut at the top of his forehead at the hairline. Jeff's eyes started bulging out of his head as crimson streams poured down his pale white face. The ball gag pops out of his mouth, and he screams in agony as DG peels the skin off his face. After the face is peeled off, DG placed it over his face and sticks his tongue out the mouth, jumping up and down. He starts saying,
How does this look, Mike? Is this what you're envisioning? Will this make you look OG?
The faceless man began convulsing, and his scream sounded completely different than before. This had to be a nightmare. This can't be what I'm really witnessing. "I'm calling the police," I shouted. He responded,
Mike, I figured there was a pretty high possibility you might say that. Here's the situation, my friend. We're going to finish up with our friend Jeff here in a bit. What that means is that I need another guy for the next player that wants the male skin. I have located and sent some of my associates to get my next skin. You actually know this guy. His name is Brad.
My stomach dropped. Brad? No, it couldn't be.
Actually, it can, Mike. Isn't your brother named Brad? Brad Anderson? He lives in Wilmington. He has a nice little apartment with his girlfriend. He works Monday through Friday at the local Best Buy a couple miles down the street. 10-7, I think.
My blood went ice cold. Everything he was saying was true. It was my brother. I grabbed my cell phone and began to dial his number. I had a video message from Brad waiting for me. My brother had duct tape on his mouth and had been beaten. His left eye was swollen shut and his nose was bloody. My phone fell to the floor and I dropped to my knees. I was sobbing and I vomited again. "What do you want from me? What do I need to do?" He answered,
Mike, can you send a message back to Brad for me?
"What do you want me to say?"
Tell him, goodbye.
Then the video went to static. Ghost.
Okay, so that was a little bit longer. I was going to go to 14 minutes, but I don't want to start the second story. I don't know if I buy that one. That one really didn't do much for me. Although, if I'm in that situation, I'm terrified. So it's easy for me to say that now. Okay, I'm going to end this here. Hopefully they're not, well, they can't all be that long. Got 30 minutes and 4 more stories, so. Okay, so this is part 1. This will be a 3-parter. Hopefully, if the stories are a little shorter, hopefully the next video could be like 2 and 3, and then 4 and 5, or when just I'll go by sound, really, I guess. By sound, you know what I'm trying to say. So like and subscribe, or if you don't, there's a good chance I won't allow you to watch the next video. Which the next video is actually going to be a striptease. It's not going to be me. It's my dogs. Putting them in human clothes. And they're going to dance on camera. So, it's what they do. Okay. Until next time, have a good day, have a good night.